You know, the WWE has made some questionable decisions over the course of the past few years. And when we really take a look in depth on those decisions and we really dissect them, we can really understand why WWE did what they did. We know why Chris Jericho dethroned Kevin Owens of the United States title back at Payback earlier this year. It's because they wanted to move Chris Jericho over to SmackDown Live for him to continue his feud with Kevin Owens in the future. We know why WWE broke up Enzo and Cass, because Vince McMahon sees Big Cass as the star of the team. We all know why Roman Reigns attacked Braun Strowman after he lost the ambulance match at Great Balls of Fire. It's because they were setting up for a fatal four-way at SummerSlam, which came true. But WWE has made some very, very questionable decisions that have took place over the course of the past few years that have really left the WWE Universe shocked, and not in a good way. Shocked, and not in a good way. They have made some decisions that really have led us to ask, why? Why would this guy go over on this guy? Why was this booked? Why did this take place? Why was this decision made? Who passed this decision forth? Last Tuesday was one of them. And I'm going to try not to single this video out, just focusing on that one thing, even though it's a huge thing and it makes a big difference going into SummerSlam. I'm trying not to single this video out, just focusing on that one thing. Bear with me. The Money in the Bank concept was created by Chris Jericho. And what it basically is it should be treated as something sacred, something of importance, because it is. It's something that has never been done before, and it's something that has been around for over a decade. Over a decade. Almost 2 decades it's been around. And it should be used. It should have been used to elevate a superstar's status, to make a superstar seem like a legit threat in the WWE, no matter which brand they are on or which title they are going for. And it is really supposed to guarantee that person that holds the said briefcase as the next champion, as the next guy to carry that title with honor and prestige. WWE, whoever passed the decision, they took all of that. Everything that Chris Jericho came up with, everything that was built up over the course of the past number of months with Baron Corbin and the Money in the Bank briefcase, and they buried it 6 feet under. Completely washed it all away. They took that sacred piece of paper with all the writing on it and the importance of it, and they tore it to shreds. Tore it to shreds, burnt the paper to ashes, and let the ashes blow away in the wind. I have never seen such a disrespectful act like we witnessed on Tuesday. I was not a fan of John Cena becoming the first man to cash in Money in the Bank and lose, not because I am a John Cena fanboy, but for the simple fact that I did not think that the Money in the Bank concept was old enough for them to have a loser on their list of winners. I was not a fan of that, nor do I still agree that they should have made John Cena the first man to cash in Money in the Bank and lose. I would have booked him a hell of a lot better. But you take a look at what they've done in the past with the Money in the Bank briefcase and the concept, and it should be used to create moments that the WWE Universe would never forget, moments that would spike ratings and get people talking in a positive way. Moments like when Dean Ambrose cashed in Money in the Bank last year, and all three members of The Shield held the WWE Championship inside of 2 minutes. Moments like when Rob Van Dam cashed in at ECW One Night Stand to become the first ever person to hold the WWE and ECW Championship simultaneously. Moments like when Dolph Ziggler cashed in Money in the Bank the night after WrestleMania 29 and became World Heavyweight Champion to the best crowd in wrestling history. And I stand by that statement. Moments like when Randy Orton cashed in Money in the Bank at SummerSlam and he turned heel, screwing Daniel Bryan and really getting Bryan over as a top babyface. Moments like WrestleMania 31. Seth Rollins came in, he cashed in Money in the Bank against Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, making it a triple threat match. And he had perhaps one of, if not the greatest WrestleMania moments of the modern era. The Money in the Bank concept should not be used as a troll job. The Money in the Bank concept should not be used as a way to get people excited only to have their excitement diminish at the fact that the Money in the Bank briefcase holder was squashed in less than 15 seconds. I honestly, this is worse than John Cena. This is worse than Damien Sandow. This is worse than Damien Sandow. This is the second time that they did this to Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin, when he first came up to the main roster almost 2 years ago, he should have been holding the United States title or the Intercontinental title by the end of 2016. Instead, his push got shafted, and he had to wait an entire year to actually get a championship match at WrestleMania. And even then, they missed the boat with him. He didn't win the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. Now, Money in the Bank was his next stop. That was his big moment, to win Money in the Bank and to guarantee him as the next WWE champion. WWE had one job. They had one job to do. To make a new main event star for the next decade. The next top tier main event heel. And WWE blatantly disrespected Corbin, disrespected Chris Jericho, and disrespected the entire prestige of Money in the Bank in 15 seconds. Less than 15 seconds. Not even. 10 seconds. 10 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. 10 seconds. Baron Corbin could have easily been booked to sidestep Jinder Mahal, send Jinder Mahal flying into John Cena, and then an end of days later and we get a new WWE champion. I would not have booked Baron Corbin to cash in Money in the Bank at SmackDown this past Tuesday or at SummerSlam, even though I thought SummerSlam was the best opportunity to do the same thing that Seth Rollins did. I would have had Nakamura win the championship and him wait a couple of months, have Nakamura win Hell in a Cell match on October 8th, which is a SmackDown Live exclusive pay-per-view, and Baron Corbin cashes in after that. Would have made for a better storyline, and then Nakamura could win the title back at the Rumble. AJ Styles could win the Rumble. You get Nakamura versus Styles. I just booked the next 7 months of WWE SmackDown Live main event program in 15 seconds. In 15 seconds. The amount of time that it took Baron Corbin's career for the rest of the year to get absolutely diminished. Nobody is going to care about anything that Baron Corbin does for the rest of the year. Even if he beats John Cena. Which I think he is. Because, to be quite honest with you, Baron Corbin needs a big win after the travesty that took place this past Tuesday. What are you going to do? You're going to have him become the one to take the United States title off of AJ Styles? I would be okay with that, because to be quite honest, he's due for that. But it would be too little too late. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what else to say. I really do not know what else to say. How was this okayed? How was this passed? How is Baron Corbin okay with this? How did he not say anything? If that was me, I would have said, oh, hell no. If I'm going to cash this in, I'm going to be successful. You're not screwing me over again like you did at WrestleMania. And to the people who saying that he wasn't ready, that Baron Corbin's too green, you are just as senile as Vince McMahon. You are just as retarded as Vince McMahon, Kevin Dunn, and the other cronies up in Stanford. How can you sit there and say that, oh, he wasn't ready? He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. Why did you think they gave him the briefcase to begin with? I don't even know. At this rate, I don't even know my own question that I just asked. Why would they give him the briefcase if they were not going to have him cash it in successfully? They could have given it to Nakamura. I don't give a shit if it was too early. They could have given it to Styles. I didn't care. I don't care if he was going to win the U.S. title. They could have given it to Zayn. Where the hell's he been? Where the hell's Zayn been? They could have easily given it to Zayn if they were not going to make Baron Corbin the next champion. Now Baron Corbin has become the third man in history to unsuccessfully cash in Money in the Bank. For what? For what? Just an OMG moment that's going to go down in the record books as perhaps one of the worst booking decisions of the year? This is in the top three. This is in the top three. Right up there with Goldberg taking the Universal title off of Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns defeating The Undertaker at WrestleMania. This is in the top three. Baron Corbin's mystique and Baron Corbin's legitimacy is gone. The only way that they can save him is if they build him back up for the rest of the year and all of WrestleMania season. That's how long it's going to take for Baron Corbin to recover from this. It should start with him completely destroying John Cena at SummerSlam. He better win. Because if he doesn't, then he's done. It's over for him. How can you book a guy like Baron Corbin to unsuccessfully cash in Money in the Bank? A guy who is a fantastic performer. He gets legit heel heat. He should have been U.S. or Intercontinental Champion before the end of 2016. I don't care how good The Miz and Ziggler feud was. They could have easily done the same exact thing with Baron Corbin and put on just as good, if not even better, matches. I'm not even going to go over SmackDown. I'm not even going to go over SmackDown. I'm just going to go over Raw, 205 Live, NXT, and then the news, rumors, and reports. You know some actually? You know some? 205 Live has been made to look leagues better than SmackDown Live has been these past few months. Ever since Money in the Bank, SmackDown Live has been on a downward spiral. Meanwhile, 205 Live has been treated like Tuesday's main show. Look at some of the feuds they got going on over there. They had some great matches with Akira Tozawa and Lee Brian Kendrick. You had Neville and Swan at TJP, Mustafa Ali and Drew Gulak, Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar. Oh, well, honestly, I have nothing against that, because I think that the Cruiserweights are due for some true recognition, especially after the match that they had on Monday. It was fantastic. I'm going to talk about that. Don't agree with the decision to give Tozawa the title this early, but nonetheless, he deserves it, and it was fantastic. But SmackDown Live, it's like after WrestleMania, not after WrestleMania, after Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank was the start. And then all of a sudden, it just went down into the ground. Just as I think they couldn't go any lower, they go even deeper. Tuesday was another 30 feet. After Money in the Bank, they start going 10 feet, 20 feet deeper, 40 feet deeper. This was another 30 feet. Baron Corbin loses again. That's another 60 feet right there. Completely killing most of the mystique and the legitimacy of a hot young talent. I do not care if you say Baron Corbin wasn't ready. If the officials thought he wasn't ready, then they should have never given him the briefcase to begin with. A complete waste of a Money in the Bank briefcase spot. A complete and utter disrespectful act to Chris Jericho, Baron Corbin himself, and the entire prestigious history of Money in the Bank. Baron Corbin loses to John Cena at SummerSlam. He should just walk out. Walk out. Let me tell you, if I was doing nothing right now, if I did not have a lot of shit to do over the next couple of weeks, I would form a riot party outside of Stamford, Connecticut's headquarters and burn that place to the ground if I didn't have anything going on. To anyone who watches this video, please, if that's what it's going to take for Vince McMahon to realize that the decisions he is making is singly killing his company, then so be it. But obviously it's never going to happen. I cannot wait for the day that Triple H takes over. Oh, God. I cannot take another 10, 15 years of Vince McMahon. I cannot wait until he passes. I would never wish death upon anyone, but it almost seems like that's the only way out of this misery. We're not going to see the light at the end of the tunnel for another 10, 15 years. Completely utter disrespectful act to Baron Corbin, Chris Jericho, and the entire prestigious history of Money in the Bank. You don't think that way? You are straight dumb. You are dumb. You need to go back to school. School starting in 3 weeks. Get yourself enrolled in basic kindergarten. Monday Night Raw this week. It was a very good show. A lot of stuff happened on the show. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins kicked us off. They came out. They fought for a bit. Cesaro and Sheamus came out, attacked both men. And then Rollins and Ambrose stand tall. They finally make up and do that shield fist gesture. And Kurt Angle came out and made the match. Raw Tag Team titles, Rollins and Ambrose versus Cesaro. Sasha Banks and Nia Jax had a great match, and Sasha Banks won. She will now face Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship at SummerSlam. Miz wanted Jason Jordan in a match later tonight, so he got it. But Kurt Angle walked away because Balor and Wyatt had a brawl backstage, and their match was moved to tonight. SummerSlam comes early. That was the big catchphrase on Raw this week. Elias Sampson then took out R-Truth after R-Truth interrupted his song. No one really cared about that. Big Cass then addressed the crowd. He cut a good promo, and he really played up to his heel heat, which I liked. And then Enzo, he came out. Big Show was introduced by Enzo. And then the Club and Big Cass, single-handedly, those three guys took out Big Show, smashed his hand in the shark cage that Enzo will be locked in on Sunday. Akira Tozawa defeated Neville to win the Cruiserweight Championship in the best match of Tozawa's career. This was a fantastic fight. Neville and Tozawa, they work so well together. And Tozawa, damn, his suicide dives are fantastic. I don't think I've ever seen a better suicide dive than Tozawa. He gets some impact on those suicide dives, and I don't know how he does it so good every single time. Unbelievable match. And Neville, in the end, he went for the red arrow. He got caught, missed it. Tozawa with that senton, that beautiful senton bomb. And Tozawa was your new Cruiserweight champion. Well-deserved Tozawa. Neville had a good reign at 197 days, but now it's Tozawa's time. Tozawa wins his first Cruiserweight championship. I would have waited till SummerSlam, but I'm guessing that they have some bigger plans. I guess they want to extend Tozawa's reign a little more. They probably might have him drop it maybe in October, maybe in November. We're going to have to wait and see how this plays out. Congratulations again, Tozawa. Bray Wyatt defeated Finn Balor. It was a decent match. And then all of a sudden, he dumped this like acidic fluid. It looked like blood on Finn Balor. Later in the night, then Finn Balor basically said, I got my rematch against Bray Wyatt. He's got his demons. This Sunday he's going to find out I got my demons too. So the Demon King will return this Sunday against Bray Wyatt. An entirely different ball game. Mickie James then defeated Emma. No one really cared. Mickie James got a win. Jason Jordan versus The Miz ended in a no contest when the Miztourage attacked Jason Jordan. Hardy Boys came out to make the save. This led to a 6-man tag team match that led Jason Jordan and the Hardys to defeat The Miz and the Miztourage. It was a good match, not gonna lie. Jason Jordan, he's slowly coming into his own. Guy's fantastic in the ring. True powerhouse. His belly-to-belly suplexes are fantastic. Look, I'm hoping to see if this leads to an Intercontinental Championship match. Does it go to SummerSlam? I do not think so. Maybe it's the day after SummerSlam, or they probably build it up towards No Mercy, which is the next Raw brand exclusive pay-per-view on September 24th. Lesnar, Strowman, Reigns, and Joe had the face-off. Lesnar basically came out. Paul Heyman basically went on and on about the three competitors. Great promo by Paul Heyman. Strowman and Joe came out first, and they basically stated their point. Reigns came out, no words, straight spear to Samoa Joe, running power slam to Reigns, and then Strowman and Lesnar faced off, and then they were just beating on securities, beating on superstars, as everyone was trying to pull them apart, and they were trying to get at one another. I like that ending. They're teasing the Strowman-Brock Lesnar match in the future. Maybe at Survivor Series, maybe at the Rumble, maybe at WrestleMania. We're going to have to wait and see. Overall, very good Raw. 205 Live this week. Cedric Alexander and Gran Metalik defeated Tony Nese and Drew Gulak in a fantastic tag team match. Gran Metalik, man, I am so happy that Gran Metalik is back. Gran Metalik, extremely smooth, and he's really living up to his name, the King of the Ropes. He's fantastic on the ropes. He gets some height on his moonsaults. That Hurricane Rana into the ring on Tony Nese was very good. Tony Nese really playing up to that cocky, arrogant jock heel. I'm liking how Tony Nese is being displayed a little more on 205 Live. Cedric Alexander, of course, is a fantastic worker. Drew Gulak, very good heel. The right team won. I'm guessing that this is just going to continuously advance the Cedric Alexander-Tony Nese feud. Brian Kendrick defeated Mustafa Ali via DQ after Jack Gallagher attacked him. I'm liking the new vicious side of Jack Gallagher with his wrist taped up. I'm really liking it. This led to Brian Kendrick then challenging Gallagher to a duel next week. I'm really hoping that this newfound attitude of Jack Gallagher gets him newfound success. Maybe even a possible Cruiserweight title reign. Arya Daivari then defeated Rich Swann after TJP came out and distracted Rich Swann. I'm guessing the rubber match is going to take place next week, considering how they are 1-1. Tozawa's celebration took place, and I like the line that Titus added where he said thank you to Tozawa, basically stating Tozawa was a young man with a dream of becoming a WWE superstar, which many people thought was a silly dream, just like people thought that me starting Titus Worldwide was a silly dream, but because of him, our dreams are now a reality, and I want to thank you. Neville then interrupted. Broken Neville, ladies and gentlemen. Neville looking like a smaller, worn-down, broken Matt Hardy. Basically stated, you guys have made a mockery of what I built up. I built an empire with that title, and you've made a mockery of it. You are a circus act. He said that you have this much time, and he pointed to the Titantron, and that was the time clock for SummerSlam. It's ticking down. Will that be Tozawa's demise, or will that be Tozawa's victory? And then Tozawa just sent Neville packing. He attacked Neville with a vicious suicide dive, rammed him into the barricade, sent him over the top, and Tozawa and Titus stood tall. Overall, very good episode of 205 Live. Leagues better than SmackDown. NXT was a very good show this week. Asuka and Ember Moon had a contract signing that ended in a stare down. Ember Moon said that Asuka has never taken shortcuts in her championship reign except with one person, Ember Moon herself, of course alluding to the fact that Asuka shoved the ref into Ember Moon, or not Ember Moon, into the ropes as Ember Moon went for the Eclipse and Ember Moon fell flat. So I think that Ember Moon is going to do everything in her power to make sure that Asuka does not pull the same trick again. I'm very interested to seeing how this match is going to end. If you missed my NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 rundown, you have your chance to catch it right now. I posted it on Tuesday. Go back and watch it. The Street Profits then defeated Chris Silvio and Lars Sullivan after they defeated those two, which, by the way, those two are fantastic. The Street Profits. I'm begging that when they come up from NXT, they do not get buried, because they have a lot of charisma. Lars Sullivan then carried Silvio away to the Lars is gonna kill you chant. Don't really know where they're going with Lars's character, but we're going to see. Ruby Riott then defeated Billie Kay. Nothing too special there. But Ruby Riott, of course, she's still coming into her own. She's still trying to prove herself as a worthy competitor in the NXT Women's Division. Roderick Strong and Drew McIntyre. Great match. Very hard-hitting. I enjoyed it, but it ended in a double disqualification because Rude came out and attacked both men. And he delivered a glorious DDT to Drew McIntyre in the end. And he blew a kiss, I think, to Roderick Strong, I guess, as an insult to his family again. But I'm guessing that this is going to result some way, somehow, in Drew McIntyre becoming NXT champion, and then, all of a sudden, Roderick Strong facing Bobby Roode, defeating Bobby Roode somehow, leading to a triple threat match at NXT TakeOver Houston during Survivor Series weekend. Overall, great show. Now, it's time for the news, rumors, and reports. I'm a little more calm now because I got all that out of my system about Tuesday. I'm trying not to let that ruin SummerSlam week for me because it's the second biggest week of the wrestling calendar, and I enjoy SummerSlam. But a first report I got here is from Cage Side Seats, and yes, they reported that Scott Dawson will indeed have surgery on his right bicep, and he will be out until December. I wish Scott Dawson a very speedy recovery. I got some news on Jason Jordan. Dave Meltzer reported that a heel turn for Jason Jordan might be coming in the near future. Two ideas were pitched. One was that Jason Jordan would either turn on Kurt in some way, shape, or form, or he would state that he made the whole thing up, and the WWE Universe was that stupid enough to believe it. I'm not against this idea, but I think he should do that after he becomes Intercontinental Champion, similar to The Rock back in the 1990s. It was reported by the New York Post this week and on WWE television that, yes, SummerSlam will indeed return to the Barclays Center in 2018. That means we are going to get an NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4. Brooklyn, you are one lucky city. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reported that Enzo Amore also might be turning heel. He is likely to drop a foreign object from the shark cage at SummerSlam, which will ultimately end up helping Big Cass rather than Big Show, which would then lead to Enzo turning heel, Big Show losing, and them reuniting as a heel tag team. That was also reported by Mr. Slice Wrestling. Follow him at Slice Wrestling. This one goes out to you, Slice. WWE officials have had early discussions of reuniting Enzo and Cass as a heel tag team as they feel the breakup was a wrong move. Finally. But it's too little too late because they already broke them up. I don't think they should have broken them up to begin with. I thought that they should have been tag team champions also sometime in 2016. But what do I know? I got news on Asuka, and Cage Side Seats reported that she is working through a minor injury. However, the injury will not put her match with Ember Moon in jeopardy. Thank God. And finally, the reason why you clicked on this damn thumbnail. It was not to hear a rant about Money in the Bank, about the Money in the Bank contract blunder. Of course, I know a lot of people want to hear that from a lot of other people. But now, PW Insider has indeed reported that Adam Cole has signed with WWE and will be starting in NXT very, very soon. I am predicting we are going to see Adam Cole in the Barclays Center for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. It is going to be one hell of a ride with Adam Cole when he debuts in NXT. I hope it's this coming Saturday. Or I hope it's tomorrow, rather. And ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the Lightning Flash update. Thank you guys for tuning into this video once again. I really do appreciate it. You already know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Do not forget to check out the rundown for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. If you missed it, do not forget to check out the Thunder Files, The Tickets Are Not H, in which I introduced the world of YouTube to J the Thunder. Do not forget to check out the rundown for WWE SummerSlam this Saturday, August 19th, 2017. And do not forget, obviously, keep a close eye out for the second annual Eye of the Storm. I am still in discussion with that former WWE and WCW superstar. We are going to try and get him on a sit-down interview next week because, like I said, you never know where I'm going to show up and who I might bring along. Until then, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy himself, DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash Update. I will see you this Saturday for the rundown for SummerSlam.